the Strong Bahamian Woman podcast celebrating Women's History Month. Two most important days of your life are the day that you were born and the day that you find out why. Those words were penned by Mark Twain. Now, whether you are here to discover that why, to expand that why, or to share maybe sometime in the future with us how to achieve that why, I am here to welcome you. I am here to welcome you with a heartfelt fanfare befitting of royalty to the Strong Bahamian Woman podcast. This is our first release, an introduction to the movement. In this episode, I will tell you about myself, your lead host. I will tell you why this podcast was produced. I will highlight the occasion that we are celebrating in this episode and the next, which is Women's History Month. And I will recognize 5 Bahamian women who have made history or are making history at this time, those who have inspired us and impacted society in a wonderful way. So stick around also because I have some brain teasers also in this episode. I want to challenge your knowledge of the Bahamas. So in a nutshell, what are the goals of this podcast? Well, we are here to foster intergenerational communication. We want to celebrate our role models and expand opportunities for Bahamian women as a whole. Our aim is resolute, to break down some outstanding mental and social barriers and enable more women, because we do have women that are doing it already, but we want more women to realize their fullest potential. We believe that a better Bahamas for all awaits you becoming the new version of you. And we also believe that the ways and the solutions, the ideas that we need to get there is wrapped up in her legacy, those who have gone before us, in her story, those of experience. We believe that there are uniquely Bahamian roadmaps in their stories of success, and that these stories will be for our success and for our self-discovery. Welcome again. My name is Synovia D. Williams, and I am the lead host here at the Strong Bahamian Woman podcast. A little bit about me. I'm an entrepreneur, a film producer, a speaker, trainer, a former radio and television host. I've worked in every area of media that you can imagine, in productions, anywhere from digital productions to stage productions. I am a performer, an entertainer. I have danced my way through life. I have sang, recorded music. I have done so much. I have led nonprofit programs for the development of girls and for women in well-being and in mindset. A part of the reason why I took on the opportunity to be the host of something that is so particular to the Bahamas is because I've always considered myself an ambassador for the Bahamas. When I was only 14 years old, and then again at 15 years old, I represented my country in an international platform, one being as Hal Jackson's Talented Teen, Bahamas, and the other being Miss Black Teenage World Bahamas. And on that note, I have considered many times appointing myself ambassador, just calling myself Ambassador Synovia D. Williams, because of the passion that I have and the love that I have for this country and for countrymen and for those who love this country. I have had a very colorful life with lots of experiences. But to introduce myself to you, I will just highlight 3 of my life-defining moments. And they would be: 1, when I became a mother. The other was when I accepted salvation through Jesus Christ. And the third would be when I had a radical mindset shift. And I recognized my personal value and the unique and irreplaceable gift that every individual was made to be. That changed my entire life, and it is still the foundation of why I would invest my time, my heart to do the work, to do the research, to seek out the people that can help us to discover who we are, and then give us the strategies, the information, the education, the inspiration to actually become more of who we are, because there is greatness in each and every one of us. Now let's just go ahead and address what may be for you the elephant in the room. Why this topic, the Strong Bahamian Woman podcast? You see, for me, I recognize the power of the voice of experience, its ability to shift and open me up to do and be more. And also the key to give me a mindset and a method. When I would speak to people that would talk about success and achievement with less of a global view and highlighting the culture of the Bahamas, the systems, the particular kinds of opportunities and challenges that are unique to the Bahamas, and I would compare that conversation with things that I've learned from external sources that didn't understand our peculiarities in the Bahamas. I realized that when I would speak to those of experience and our role models locally, they were able to speak directly to my circumstances. They understood what my values were and how to navigate in our particular set of circumstances. And quite often I saw myself in their story, or I saw my potential to become through their story. It's like this. Imagine that you wanted to learn how to bat for baseball or softball, and someone was sitting on a bleacher and you were out on the field and you picked up the bat and they were telling you, now pick it up and stand, like, no, put your foot over here, and no, turn to the side, and they are telling you what to do, and no, hold the bat a little closer, and you don't even know what to hold it closer means, and so imagine that, and then imagine that instructor coming on the field with you, taking the bat up, putting it in your hand, standing behind you, helping you to usher the bat to the place it needs to be and position it so that you'll be able to swing, and then telling you where to put your feet. Now, that hands-on instructor that stands behind you and helps you to learn how to swing is what we are going to be bringing to you by bringing the voices of experience to you. Those that have gone before us. That is the difference we want to make with the Strong Bahamian Woman podcast. We want to amplify the voices that will help us to be more and all that we can be. So we are here to give. We are here to share. We are here to glean, to celebrate, to discuss, to reveal, to be educated, to be informed, to be inspired. And at the forefront of our agenda here at this show is this vital aspect of intergenerational communication. I am, and you may also be convinced, that this is of paramount importance to foster this cohesion and this transmission of knowledge and wisdom across generations. So we want to create the environment where the voices of all generations, but particularly our esteemed Bahamian women, that they'll be heard and valued and integrated into our collective vision for a brighter future, for a future where Bahamian women are adding even more to the progress, the success of more areas of life in the Bahamas. So that's what we're here for, this intergenerational communication. We're also here too to celebrate the invaluable contributions of these role models within our societies. Their exemplary lives of excellence, display of resilience and leadership. The fact that they have served as beacons of inspiration for present, past, and future generations. We are also here on a mission, and that mission is to elevate and expand opportunities for Bahamian women. We are committed to dismantling the mental and the social barriers. They do exist, and we will be unboxing them and talking about them, revealing and exposing them. These things that have hindered progress and limited potential for so many Bahamian women. And even those who have a degree of success, it has still robbed them of all that they could have been successful in doing. So we aspire to unlock the full spectrum of talents and capabilities within our female population. I was at a lecture just last week in recognition of Women's History Month with the release of a book by Juliet Storr. And she was speaking about the gender gap that exists in the Bahamas, how in terms of careers and profession, how we have been indoctrinated, so to speak, about the areas that we choose as Bahamian women, as females, to pursue. That there's almost an unspoken and sometimes spoken communication of the places we belong. And it has left a huge gap in the areas where women are pronounced and bring leadership and bring their gifts and bring their brilliance to the table. And there's a huge gap in some areas where women have no voice and they have no leadership. And this type of podcast is designed to make sure that we understand, more of us understand, that yes, you can. So on that note, we want to highlight what we are now celebrating in this podcast and our upcoming podcast, which is Women's History Month, because that is all about women who believed that they could, and they did. And so Women's History Month is a time we reflect on the invaluable contributions of women throughout history and acknowledge their resilience in overcoming challenges. By recognizing this occasion, we honor them. We honor their struggles and their triumphs, and that's worldwide. This is celebrated globally. But we thought it extremely important to recognize our Bahamian women who have played a pivotal role in shaping our nation's history, our culture, and our identity. They have been educators and activists and entrepreneurs and community leaders, Bahamian women who have left an indelible mark on our society, and I am so excited to highlight 5 of them today. Now, before we get into highlighting our 5 exceptional women of resilience and passion and commitment who have made shining examples for all of us, it is now time for our fun trivia. Are you ready to test your knowledge of your Bahamas? Here we go. The Bahamas is home to the world's deepest known underwater sinkhole, known as Dane's Blue Hole, plunging to a depth of over blank feet. How many feet does Dean's Blue Hole reach? Is it 360 feet? Is it 160 feet? Is it 660 feet? Or is it 560 feet? If you think you know the answer, visit our Facebook page, The Strong Bahamian Woman Podcast, and under Episode 1 teaser, write your answer. And be sure to let us know if you knew the answer or if you guessed the answer. Are you ready? It is now time for us to highlight, celebrate, and appreciate our first Bahamian woman of history. Number 1, Dame Ivy Dumont. The first female Governor General of the Bahamas, embodies grace, intelligence, and leadership. Her values of dignity and integrity have guided her throughout her distinguished career. Her advice to women is to never underestimate their capabilities and to always strive for excellence. We would like to cite the source of that information being the Nassau Guardian. Here we go with number 2. We would like to celebrate Lynn Holowesco. Lynn Holowesco is a pioneering businesswoman and philanthropist dedicated to environmental conservation in the Bahamas. Her values of sustainability and stewardship of natural resources have earned her widespread admiration. Her advice encourages women to embrace innovation and entrepreneurship as tools for positive change. The source of that information was also the Nassau Guardian. Now, the third person that I will highlight is someone that I did not know about until I did the research for us to have a more comprehensive view, a diversity of women brought to the table. And that brought me to the knowledge and awareness of Mary Ingram. Mary Ingram was a pioneering educator and advocate for women's rights in the Bahamas during the early 20th century. She founded the Bahamas Association for Social Health, advocating for improved health care and educational opportunities for women and children. Her values of education and social justice continue to inspire us today. And just in case you missed it, Bahamas Association for Social Health, BASH, continues to thrive and be the solution for improved living for so many men today. The reference for this information is the Bahamas Historical Society. The fourth person we want to highlight, celebrate, and appreciate is Dame Doris Johnson. Dame Doris Johnson was a prominent suffragist and politician who campaigned tirelessly for women's rights in the Bahamas. As the founder of the Bahamas Women's Suffrage Movement, she led the charge for gender equality and political representation. Her values of perseverance and determination continue to inspire women in their fight for equality. The reference of that information is the Nassau Guardian. And now we will sum up our recognition of 5 Bahamian women of history and making history with Reverend Dr. Angela Palacios. Reverend Dr. Angela Palacios is a trailblazing figure in the Bahamian religious community, known for her powerful sermons and unwavering commitment to social justice. As a minister and theologian, she has challenged traditional norms and advocated for inclusivity and equality within the church. Her values of love, compassion, and justice continue to inspire generations of Bahamians. Wikipedia says Angela Palacios is a Bahamian minister of religion and an author. She was the first woman deacon and the first woman priest of the Anglican Diocese of the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands. Isn't that wonderful? Come on, let's just give it up. A round of applause for each of these women, and to think that as long as we are here, we will continue to highlight the many, many diverse contributions of women. Women like you, women like your mother and your grandmother, people that are inspiring us even today. Now, can you guess who our 10th leading lady will be? I will give you a hint, and I will also invite you to head on over to our Facebook page, The Strong Bahamian Woman Podcast. And if you think you can guess who our 10th leading lady will be, I want you to write your answer also under this episode 1 podcast teaser. So, what are the hints? This person plays a role in sports, or I should say has played a role in sports. She is a multifaceted individual. She is a mother. She is a minister of the Lord. She had something to do at some point with national security. I won't go into any more details. If you know who this phenomenal, amazing, leading lady that we will also add to our list of 5 for the next episode, be sure to let us know on our Facebook page. Now, as we come to an end of this inaugural podcast, I want to say thank you for being a part of what we are sharing, being a part of shining the light and the beacon of the pathways that have been made for us to understand that we can make a change and we can make a difference if we will step up, if we will start it, if we will take the baton and run with it. So go ahead and share this podcast with those who can take it along with them. Listen as you drive your car, as you are at work. Stay inspired, stay focused, and we will continue to bring to you the stories that will continue to expand and elevate your mind, Bahamian woman. As we embark on this journey through Women's History Month, let us celebrate the diverse voices and experiences of women around the world, and in particular, the invaluable contributions of our Bahamian women who have helped us to build heritage. So join me, Synovia D. Williams, next Thursday for another episode of the Strong Bahamian Woman Podcast, celebrating Women's History Month. Thank you for tuning in to the Strong Bahamian Woman Podcast with your host, Synovia D. Williams. Be sure to like our page and share the podcast episode. Contact us today to advertise your business, service, or event on the Strong Bahamian Woman Podcast, to be a patron sponsor of the show, and to suggest strong Bahamian women that you would like to see highlighted or interviewed in future episodes.